Hello everyone, it's LauraJane. Thank you for joining me today. This is part of a video hop with Altenew, celebrating their release of the Exotic Garden. So many lovely stamps, dies, a few washi tapes, and some embossing folders. So today I'm going to be working with a large stamp called the Simply Spring. A gorgeous wildflower bouquet. Okay, not wildflowers, but they are a lovely mix of floral blooms. I could not resist this one. Also using the 9x12 watercolor paper pad from Altenew. And my watercolors are the Watercolor Essentials, which are 12 half pans for very simple yet vibrant watercoloring. So let's get started. So first I trimmed the watercolor paper down to 8.5 by 6 inches, so it would fit into the MISTI tool. And then I grabbed my anti-static powder, which is cornstarch, gave a good brush over so that the static would be gone. Took the embossing ink, smooshed it on the image, and give it a good press. We have some coverage for the embossing powder, which is the rose gold from Altenew. This is such a beautiful color. I think it goes with almost everything. And sprinkle that embossing powder. There, get some good coverage. Flick off all the excess, and then took my preheated heat tool and watch that magic happen. It's just a gorgeous image. Yeah, a person could stop right there if you wanted to, but let's go ahead and get the watercolors out. Just spritzing these just a little bit with clear water. I'm going to set them aside just so they kind of soften up a bit. Have some clean water, and this is the number 2 round watercolor brush from Altenew. Really enjoying these new watercolor brushes. So I loaded up the brush with the crimson and just followed the outline of the embossing. The great thing with having the image set up with embossing powder means there's really no wait time. I don't have to do petal by petal and let things dry. There's just this nice barrier of where the color and the watercolor is going to be, and then it dries on its own. So I think this is a very easy way to watercolor an image pretty quickly. After setting the color down on the edges, then I'm grabbing some clean water and just adding that clean water into the petals, drawing the color out. And pulling the color out. So that's basically the technique that I'm using throughout the video. I do have all the colors that I'm using. They pop up as I switch to another half pan color. I'm going to speed up this video so it doesn't take as long. I pretty much just follow the same thing, adding the more intense pigment where I feel like the shadows are going to be, adding clean water to draw that color out, and moving on to another color while things dry in between. So enjoy the painting, and I may pop in with a little bit of an explanation, but enjoy. several other creators on the list. I have that in the description box below. Make sure you leave comments along the way for chances to win lots of prizes. I have links to the products that I have used here that will take you right to the Altenew shop, and I encourage you to go over there and treat yourself to something lovely. Again, this was such an enjoyable piece to watercolor. I really need to remember how easy it is to watercolor with that embossed lines. It's not something that I do very often, but it really was enjoyable. This piece took probably an hour total to color, and then I let it dry overnight and came back with some darker colors and hit just a couple of areas with some really intense pigment. So I was undecided what to do with this piece. I trimmed it down just a little bit, put a blue mat on it, and just set it inside a frame, just kind of thinking on exactly what I want to do. Snapped some pictures and so that you could see the finished product. In my mind, I'm probably going to just cut it in half, right down the middle and the long way, so I have two slimline cards. For now, it's in the frame. Thank you again for spending some time with me today. It was a pleasure. Remember to craft your life with Altenew. We'll catch you next time. Bye.